Good evening. You're watching the late news on HKIBC. I'm Harminder Singh. Here are tonight's top stories. Drone show at Wine and Dine Festival cancelled again due to deliberate interference of device's GPS system. Labour Minister questions cost estimate of abolishing MPF offsetting mechanism by business conference. And 11 people shot dead in a Jewish temple in the U.S. Tonight's drone performance at the Wine and Dine Festival at Central Harbourfront was cancelled after some of the machines crashed into the sea yesterday. The Tourism Board blamed the incident on GPS interference that was intentional. Riley Chan reports.
A wine bottle, glasses, and a birthday cake. Those displays were shown at the Wine and Dine Festival by 100 drones equipped with color-changing LEDs. They flew over Victoria Harbour to mark the festival's 10th anniversary. The 7-minute show went smoothly the first 2 nights, but organizers called off a show yesterday after the drones experienced glitches soon after the performance began. The Tourism Board's Event and Product Development General Manager Mason Hong said a preliminary investigation showed that the drone's GPS signal had intentionally been jammed during the show. An investigation by the police ruled out the possibility the machines had been hacked, he added. The GPS interference had damaged some 40 drones. Some crashed into Victoria Harbour. As a result, tonight's show was also cancelled. The board's executive director Anthony Lau said he was furious about the intentional interference. It took us over half a year to prepare. Now the efforts are in vain, he said. But for Lau, the worst part was the disappointed visitors to the festival, as well as the potential damage that may have been done to the city's reputation. The incidents will be followed up by the Cybersecurity and Technology Crime Bureau. The organizer refused to disclose the financial loss caused by the show's cancellation, citing commercial confidentiality. Riley Chan, HKIBC.
Labour Chief Law Chi Kwong has questioned how a business union came up with a figure of $840 billion as the cost to businesses if the MPF offsetting mechanism was abolished. Corinne Young reports.
Earlier this month, Chief Executive Carrie Lam announced a revised subsidy plan for employers to help them cope with changes to the mandatory provident fund pension scheme. The changes were to the offsetting mechanism, which allowed businesses to dip into employees' MPF accounts to settle long-term or severance payments. The subsidy plan would cover costs to businesses for 25 years after the mechanism was banned. Taxpayers would have to foot a bill of $29.3 billion. Lam has said that the plan was final and there would be no further negotiation. That may be so, but her remarks didn't stop businesses from complaining about the financial burden they claimed they would incur. The Hong Kong Business Community Joint Conference published a statement in some Chinese language newspapers last week. The conference, formed by over 100 business groups, claimed labor costs would surge by at least $840 billion in the next 25 years if the mechanism was abolished. But Labour and Welfare Secretary Law Chi Kwong hit back at the statement today. In his weekly blog, Law called the calculation method used to come up with the $840 billion figure creative. This is only possible if over the next 25 years, none of the city's 3 million employees resign, no one is laid off within the first 5 years of employment, and no businesses shut down within the first 2 years of operation, Law said. The minister added that he couldn't understand why critics would come up with such an intimidating calculation. Some business leaders have said they would encourage employers to terminate employment contracts before the mechanisms end to settle long service and severance payments using MPF contributions. The employees would then be rehired under new contracts. Law slammed them for making the suggestion. He said businesses could lose about $20 to $30 billion if all Hong Kong companies followed suit. Corinne Young, HKIBC.
An all-graduate teaching force policy will be implemented the next school year, but the education sector is worried that it will lead to unequal workloads among teachers at the same pay level.